All right, this is David McKinney from GatewayMMA.com, and we are in with one of the top fighters in the state of Ohio, Daniel Straus, Bellator veteran, Bellator finalist actually, and making his way back to the Buckeye State this weekend to take on Jason Dent in the main event at NAAFS Caged Fury 15. First off, Daniel, how you doing, man? Winding down training, I'm assuming, maybe cutting weight. What's the last couple of days like for you?
Everything's been going good, man. Just, I relaxed a little bit yesterday and got back on the horse today. I had a pretty good workout today. I usually don't relax too much, so, I had a decent little workout, cut a little bit of weight. Now I'm just gonna go home, get a little ice bath, and try to recoup for tomorrow and get my weigh-ins in and, get the job done on Saturday.
Right, and obviously, you're coming back to Ohio, fighting out of Cincinnati, but you'll be fighting up in Northeast Ohio. I know you've been kind of, you fought all over the country recently. I know you fought in shark fights. You fought out in Arizona for Bellator. How does it feel fighting back in your home state, and more specifically coming back to a promotion where you actually hold a title in NAAFS?
Oh, I love it, man. I haven't got to fight in Ohio in such a long time. Matter of fact, I think the last time I fought in Ohio was for NAAFS. So it just feels good to, to fight back in Ohio and be able to have my friends and family come and support me. And it just feels good.
Now, with that being said, it's actually an interesting situation for you. Despite the fact that you will be fighting in Ohio, it's kind of the opposite corner of the state, and you'll actually be fighting, sort of in Jason Dent's backyard. What are your thoughts on, I'm sure you'll have fans there of your own, but a lot of people will see it as his home turf. What are your thoughts on, just him having the home turf and kind of basically, once again, coming in and fighting the quote-unquote hometown guy?
Well, it's kind of a win-lose situation for me. Like you said, it feels good to fight in Ohio again, but then again, I'm also fighting in a place where he's well-known and all his family and friends are there and has a ton more supporters than I do up there. And, I'm still, I feel like I'm still the underdog walking into, this guy's backyard and, trying to steal his thumb. So, it's like I said, it feels good to fight in Ohio, but then, it sucks that it has to be in his backyard. But, I've always been comfortable with that. I've always been comfortable, fighting in, on somebody else's turn.
Do you kind of feel like it's like a Bengals versus Browns or Reds versus Indians sort of deal?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And see, I'm stuck in Columbus, so I'm kind of in the middle. So I'll be I'll be the middle ground there. But obviously, I know you still have the contract with Bellator. You made it to the finals, actually, of their featherweight tournament. You're fighting up at lightweight now. Is that the plan after this fight? Is to go back to Bellator and enter the next featherweight tournament? I heard some rumors that you were sort of a lock for the next featherweight tournament. Is that still the plan?
Yeah, that's definitely the plan. I'm happy with Bellator, and I love being at Bellator. I love fighting in that tournament. I love, the test that they're especially this next coming season. They keep coming, keep getting better guys and signing better guys. The 145 weight class belts were stacked. So, I'm just getting this fight in, and if I'm able to get another fight in, just to get the blood flowing and the cage rust off, and the good training back in, and to be ready to walk into the Bellator tournament, be able to do and accomplish what I didn't get to last time.
Right, and something else I wanted to ask you. You're considered one of the biggest featherweights, 145-pounders in the sport, but you're also huge as a lightweight. Can you just talk a little bit about the difference of fighting at 155 versus fighting at 145?
I've always liked fighting at 155. It's always been my favorite. I didn't, even when I got into Bellator, I didn't want to fight at 145. opportunity opened up for me, and obviously I jumped on it when I had to. But I've always loved fighting at 155 because at the time, I only walked around about 56, 58 at the highest. So I really never weighed much, I never had to touch much weight. And once I started fighting for Bellator and at the 45 tournament, it was the first time I had been down to 45 in quite a while. I think I fought Joe Pearson at 145, but it had been, some time since I had been at 145, and, so the weight cut at first wasn't that bad, and then after I started getting real comfortable with the weight cut, my weight ballooned up a little bit and made the cut a little bit harder, but, it still wasn't, super difficult for me to make, but, obviously cutting weight is never fun, but, it's just part of the job.
Right, now let's talk a little bit about the fight with Dent. I know the fans in Ohio have been waiting for this fight for a while. It seems, a year and a half or so. I know you've kind of have gone off and like I said, you fought in Shark Fights, a couple other organizations, obviously Bellator. Is this a fight that's kind of always been in the back of your mind? I know you said to Junkie that it kind of, this is to decide the best in Ohio. Is that kind of something that you've always wanted to settle after this fight was planned, over a year ago?
Yeah, and I still don't think this, makes it, like I said, I still would like to fight George Jail at some point in my career, and, this fight, I felt like it's been in the making for a long time, when it was my turn to fight him, I don't know what happened, but, he ended up getting the fight with Lozano, which, was nothing personal, and I understood that was business and stuff, contracts and everything. So, I just had to wait my turn. And, then when it was another time for us to fight, then I had got called up to Bellator, so, then I had to, wait again and whatnot. And, right now, it's perfect timing, I'm coming off a loss and want to make a huge statement by getting back into the Bellator tournament. And, he's coming off a loss and he wants to make a huge statement by getting a win over, a guy like me. So, it didn't work out before, but, it kind of came at a better time. So, I think it's, getting a win over him, it definitely helps me feel like I'm, getting a step closer to, definitely trying to be the best in Ohio.
Okay, and Dent is a guy that's kind of been known to always have a good game plan going into fights. Obviously he's going to have to deal with your wrestling in this fight. I know you don't want to give away too much, but what are you kind of looking at in this fight as to where the fight's going to take place and what your plan is going in?
Stand up and bang, man. I don't really, if he's working on wrestling, he's wasting his time. I want to punch him in the face just as much as he wants to punch me in mine. So, I know he's a good Thai guy. I know he's a good jiu-jitsu guy, and I know, he has decent stand-up. So, I feel like I'm in the same boat as him. I have, decent stand-up. No one's really seen too much about jiu-jitsu, but, I feel like I'm pretty good on the ground. I got cardio for days as well as does he. And, we both have heart for days. So, it just makes it a mismatch and a mix-up for a very interesting fight. You know what I mean?
All right. Yeah, definitely, one, like I said, that a lot of people in Ohio have been looking forward to a long time. And, thank you so much for joining me here. I don't know if there's anything else you want to mention, before we end the interview.
Yeah, I just want to say, thank you guys for having me. I would like to, say, thank you to all my friends and family for supporting me. I would like to thank my sponsors, Swole, Ultimate Wrestler, Beacon, and, all those That's about it, man.
All right, man, and look forward to Daniel Straus versus Jason Dent, one of the biggest fights in Ohio this year at NAAFS Cage Fury 15 this Saturday in Cleveland.